The appointment of our chief corruption buster is supposed to be above politics. But this week, the process to replace Dr Ken Levy as head of the Crime and Corruption Commission descended into partisan bickering. Barrister Paul Favell's name was released as the government's preferred candidate, then rejected by the parliamentary committee that oversees the CCC. To make sense of it, I was joined earlier in the studio by the former chair of that committee, Liz Cunningham. She and her entire committee were sacked last year when they cried foul and alleged Dr Levy had misled them over how he came up with the idea to write a newspaper article that supported the government's anti-bikie laws. Liz Cunningham, what do you make of the process of appointing a replacement for Dr Ken Levy?
The events of this week are regrettable. The process is very clear as to how those reappointments should be made. There's been a number of errors in process throughout this week that has unfortunately meant that the applicant's reputation has been brought into question.
Paul Favell.
Paul Favell.
So his name was put out there before the committee in Parliament had a chance to consider it. Do you think that that was the right move?
No. No. From my point of view and reading the legislation, there shouldn't have been any public comment. The recommendation, the nomination, should have gone straight to the committee, not to the Leader of the Opposition. The committee is the filter for that nomination in terms of bipartisanship. Go to the committee, they discuss it in confidence, interview the applicants if that's what they wish to do, and then send back their recommendation to the Premier. At that point, can something public be said? Because it saves any potential reputational damage for an applicant. And sadly, Paul Favell has been damaged through no fault of his own.
Yeah, well, he's had a more than 30-year career in the law. Do you think the committee was trying to send a message to Campbell Newman about putting that name out there before they had a chance?
They could well have been. Not only did the Premier confirm that Paul Favell was the nominee they were sending to the committee chair before the meeting, even the committee had even met, said, oh, the government members will support him. And the committee hadn't deliberated on the nomination at all. Now, I've got to say that there are sometimes very small things that the committee could feel rules a person out as a suitable person to fill a particular job, whether it's a commissioner or the chair. And it could be something that in any other circumstance means nothing negative. It could be just something that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago that could reflect on the ability of a person to fill what is the most powerful position in the state in terms of law and oversight of the law. So it could be something small. But that person's reputation should never be damaged by the process, and it has.
Do you think politics has been taken out of the process on this occasion?
I think politics has been put right in the process on this occasion.
Well, the whole intent was to try to appoint somebody without having this partisan toing and froing. Obviously not succeeded this time.
Not at all. This government changed the appointment process a little while ago to make it non-partisan, not bipartisan. They got a flogging for that, and so they reintroduced the bipartisanship. But the principle of bipartisanship's been undermined by the nomination being made public and the Premier confirming that nomination, and then of course the committee chair sort of saying, well, all the government members will be supporting him, obviously. All of that, the deliberation should have occurred before any public comment had been made.